Beautiful. Okay. So I have just a few housekeeping things I want to share with you before we get started. And let's make sure you can all see my screen. Can you all see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So welcome to our June 1st. First of all, welcome to June. Can't believe it's here already. Our June 1st Accelerator call. We have just a few things to cover today. If you would like to introduce yourself to the group in the chat, just put where you're coming from, if you're in New York or Texas or wherever, and whatever job title you might like people to know that you're interested in, you're welcome to put that in the chat. We're going to introduce Jason Hopper, who is actually a LinkedIn colleague of mine. We met at the very beginning of the pandemic. We were introduced through LinkedIn. I've spoken on his calls a couple of times. Now he's coming to speak on our call. And he's going to talk about how to use social media to get great job opportunities. And I like to call this Beyond LinkedIn, because we talk about LinkedIn a lot, and LinkedIn happens to be my favorite place to go. But Jason's going to expand all of our minds to see other ways that we can get good opportunities on social media. We're definitely going to have some time for questions and answers, for sure. And then if you have any success stories, we're going to be giving you an opportunity to have a platform. So whether it's you just got an interview, or you networked and connected with someone that you've been trying to connect with for a long time, or you're going back for a second interview, whatever your success story is, we'll be happy to share towards the end, the last part of the hour. I want to let you know that I'm super excited about our Summer of Success, which we're introducing in July. Our next call is going to be July 6th. We have just a little bit about the accelerators. We started the Accelerator group at the beginning of COVID to help professionals who had been losing their jobs. Beth is well aware of the origins of this. And since that time, we have spoken to probably hundreds of professionals, whether they're on Zoom calls with us or they're in our Accelerator group on LinkedIn. And at this point, we have many, many alumni, people who have gotten wonderful jobs since they were job seekers. And so we're going to welcome some of them back for Alumni Lessons Learned on July 6th. That event is now posted. If you would like to register right now so you don't forget, you can do that. It's posted on LinkedIn. LC is going to put the link into the chat so you can get it right there if you'd like to join. And then August 3rd, we're doing a second version of that because there's so many, and with the crazy summer schedules, some couldn't make it in July. So we're doing it on August 3rd as well. We're going to talk about, what did they learn? What did they do well? What are obstacles you should avoid? Plenty of opportunity for questions and answers. And we'll be here to support and guide you as you go through. I already have lined up several fantastic speakers for the fall. I'll tell you about those during the summer. But definitely, if you're around, we'd love to see you in July and August. We are doing our calls 1 hour earlier in the summer to accommodate for summer schedules, so you can scoot out and get to the beach. And so, just register if you're ready. What you can do to help grow this group, if you know people who would be great speakers, like the magnificent Jason Hopper, let me know. Shoot me a DM. Say, hey, I just heard somebody. They might be a great speaker for our accelerators. And the Accelerator group on LinkedIn, if you are not a member of the Accelerator group on LinkedIn, we post jobs there daily. And so if you have a job that maybe is not right for you, but might be right for someone else, feel free to post it in there. If you're not yet a member of the LinkedIn Accelerator group and you'd like to join, shoot me a message, a DM. That's my LinkedIn profile if you're not already connected to me, and ask me to invite you, and I'll be happy to do that. And then register for July 6th for sure. Okay, this is my mantra. I love to learn something new every day, and then I love to share what I learn. So I'm hoping that Jason is going to share so much with us that we are going to learn a ton. Hold on, let me just admit a couple of people just walked in. And I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to see all of your beautiful faces. Excellent. I'm welcoming Mary Susan Schilling is in the house. Excellent. And I see Dr. Kelly. I'm going to let you say your own name, Kelly. I don't want to botch it. Mondesieri? I don't know. Beth, can you say her name?
No.
All right, Kelly, unmute yourself and say your beautiful name. If you can. If she's there. Okay. Okay, so I like what Lauren just did. She added her LinkedIn URL so that you can connect to her as well. That would be great.
Ah,
There's
okay,
Kelly.
now I'm in.
All right, Kelly.
Hi, it's Mondesiree. Hi, everybody.
That's it. Mondesiree. Excellent. All right, excellent. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to give Jason the microphone, let him share his screen. And Jason, just so you all know, is a career coach with Jewish Family Services of Greater Dallas, which is fabulous. You might hear a little tiny accent there, but not very pronounced, Jason. And we are excited to learn about various forms of social media and how we can use them to expand our reach. So Jason, take it away whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mindy. And thank you for inviting me to present to the group. I've been very excited all day or morning. So good morning or afternoon to everybody, depending on where you are in the networking here. Love it. Love everybody getting networked and getting their LinkedIn in there. So I created this presentation when the pandemic started, mostly because, you know, a lot of things are being done virtually now. And everybody, of course, knows about LinkedIn. I'm assuming that everybody's on LinkedIn. We will talk about LinkedIn. We can't talk about social media, would not talk about LinkedIn. But we'll also talk about, well, a lot of other social media as well, and how you can use it to get noticed and perhaps network. So my name is Jason Hopper. As Mindy said, I'm a career coach at Jewish Family Service of Greater Dallas. I am just to give you some of my background, and I don't tell people this, don't tell anybody now. I'm a certified financial coach, but I do not like numbers. I'm not a math person. I don't math, and I am much better at doing job search strategy things than I am trying to create a budget for you. So don't tell anybody I'm certified in that now. I've been with JFS for just over 2 years. Before I was here, I worked for the Texas Workforce Commission. The Texas Workforce Commission is the state agency that handles unemployment insurance benefits. I did nothing at all with benefits. In fact, my title was Workforce Development Specialist 1, which is the state's kind of fancy title for job coach. I work there doing a lot of what I do right now, which is job search strategy, interview technique, resume review, LinkedIn optimization. I was there for 7 years. Saw thousands of people come through there in my time. And then before I worked for the state, I was a recruiter. I had a few cups of coffee in the corporate world, but most of my experience was in staffing. I staffed and have staffed in pretty much every industry except for IT. I have very, very little IT staffing experience. So overall, and I always, as I'm getting older, like to round down. I got like 20 years experience to get people back to work in some form or another. So that's who I am. We want to know who it is that's talking at you today. And let's get into this, and we will start with networking. I believe absolutely that networking is the best way to get into any kind of new opportunity. It just is. The dictionary defines networking as the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contact. All right, great, cool. Thanks, dictionary. What does that really mean? Right? I think networking gets kind of a bad rap because in your head, the idea that you get is like, maybe it's a giant room and you see groups of people kind of standing around. Maybe they got a glass of wine and there's cheese and great conversation. That's not networking. That's not networking. I like to tell everybody, networking is just talking to people. And we talk to people almost every day, right? Unless you're secluded and a hermit, you talk to people. I also like to add that networking is also offering to help people as well. If you are open to helping somebody, they're going to be more willing to help you. So networking is just talking to people. Now, social media has made networking so much easier, right? Everybody, I don't know where everybody's at. I'm in my office today. I'm working in North Dallas office. Some of y'all are at home, some of y'all are in the office, but we're all virtual now, right? Even though I'm in Dallas and I know some of y'all are from New York, we're all here and we're all virtual. And social media has brought us and our world so much closer together that we are able to connect on a different level. And I said a minute ago, we're going to talk about LinkedIn. We can't talk about social media and networking without talking about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is absolutely the go-to place for getting a new job, people and getting connected to people, right? That's what I said earlier, y'all. Everybody was throwing their LinkedIn URL in the chat. I'm like, yes, everybody connect, right? It does. It takes a village, and we're all in this together. So the more people you see, connect to, and get in contact with, I also recommend try to get some depth into that conversation. Y'all are part of this group, so I assume y'all know each other somewhat, or at least a little bit. One of the questions that I get asked quite a bit is, what's the best way to connect with recruiters on LinkedIn? Right? Because everybody wants to connect to the recruiter. Everybody and their mama trying to connect to the recruiter because they're the recruiter, right? They want to try to get in there. But guys, you got to understand. So for the recruiters, and according to the last sales email that I got from LinkedIn trying to get me to sign up for the premium service, is that 97% of recruiters out there are on LinkedIn looking for kind of candidates. 97, that's almost everybody. It's like, if you're a recruiter, you're probably on LinkedIn looking for people, right? And they get a lot of connection requests. They don't always accept them. It depends on the recruiter and how they operate. Also, sometimes the recruiter will kind of not exactly ignore their own profile, but they're busy and they just get onto LinkedIn and jump straight into the recruiter portal, right? So sometimes it might be hard to get. What I suggest is, first of all, kind of get your target company sorted out, right? Hopefully everybody's got a target company list, places where you want to work, and then go and find a recruiter that works at that target company. The first thing I suggest that you do is check their profile. Do they have activity? Because if they don't have any activity on LinkedIn, this is not going to work. Okay. So see if they have activity. If they do, awesome. Keep track of the name of the company and the name of the recruiter that works there. I always suggest people use an Excel spreadsheet. It's easier to do in Excel because here's what you're going to want to do. You want to engage with the recruiter, right? So build this kind of into your job search plan, is to check out, if not daily, then every other day, like what the recruiter's doing. What are they posting? Okay. And you want to engage. A lot of recruiters are going to post on their profile like the jobs they're looking for, right? It's free. It goes to everybody in their network, so it gets exposure, right? But let's say they post a job and it's not your job. Like you're a software engineer and they post an admin position. Okay, that's fine. I bet if you think really hard, you probably know at least one admin in your network, right? At which point you can like the recruiter's post, tag them. If you don't know how to tag, it's real simple. Hit Shift-2, the add symbol. A drop down will show up with their, with their name. Click it, add symbol goes away. Their name is now in bold. You want to tag them because it will send them a notification. And then you can do a couple things. If you have the admin person in mind, you could tag them in the post as well. Otherwise, you just comment and tell the recruiter, hey, I may know somebody interested, right? And you hit go. Trust me, guys, as a former recruiter, I always love when people are trying to help me out and fill roles, right? Again, you're just offering to, be on the lookout, maybe just offering to help, right? Yeah, as a recruiter, if I can get anybody to get a referral or send somebody to me, trust me, it's one less person I have to source, and I appreciate it. Let's say that they posted instead, they didn't post a job, maybe they posted an article about the company, something good that the company had done, and they were in the news recently, right? So you could like it, tag them, comment. That's really cool. I didn't know that your company donated 1,000 eggs to an orphanage, right? Maybe they post something like a day in the life of a recruiter. I know a lot of recruiters will post job posting tips, like whatever they're posting, you want to engage in the content. And you want to do this, guys, for about, I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. Somebody once asked me, it's like, what if they post something and then they don't post anything for another 4 weeks? Okay, well, like, if they're consistent in posting 4 weeks, otherwise move the time out, right? And then go ahead and you can make that request to connect. I like to call that earning the ask, right? At this point, because you've been engaging in their content, they should have a little bit of name recognition, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I know Kelly. Yeah, of course. And they will more than likely go ahead and accept your request to connect. So now you get connected to the recruiter. That's great. Now, if you're connected to somebody, it means you have access to them. It means you can send them a direct message. Now, I don't suggest that you start sending direct messages to the recruiter. Don't be, inundating them with things unless they happen to have a post and they post a job that you are qualified for. Now you can send them a direct message, say, hey, Rick, you just posted that accountant position. I'm definitely qualified and interested. For your convenience, I've attached my resume. Thanks, Jason. Right? Again, recruiters, they like it when candidates are proactive. Again, that's one less person that I have to go and find and source myself. Also, too, doing that, you just bypass the applicant tracking system, right? Because you went directly to the recruiter. I'm assuming that everybody understands what I mean by applicant tracking system. Yes? Can I get an amen on that?
Amen.
Amen. There we go.
Amen.
Y'all with me? I love it. I love it. Okay, so you just bypass that whole system just by contacting the recruiter and sending your resume. So my best suggestion, engage with them in their content for a little bit, about 4 weeks, then go ahead and you've earned that ask, go ahead and send that request to the recruiter. I also suggest that you try and connect to people that are in the department that you're trying to break into. It's a good thing to do. It's one of the, if you're connected to people at the department, in the recruiter portal, the way that it works, if they run a search, that's one of the things that happens, like for you to come up to the top if you're connected to anybody in the department. Again, check their profile, see if they have content. If they're not posting anything, this is not going to work. They're not active on LinkedIn. But if they are, try and connect to those people. You could leave, send them a note for connection, right? It's like why you want to connect with them. It doesn't have to be like the most prolific thing. It could simply just be like, hey, Sally, looking to expand my network with other project managers. Looking forward to connecting. Thanks, Jason. Right? Again, if they're active, they will probably say yes, and they will, they'll get it. Now, one of the reasons that I suggested you do this and connect with other people in the department is, well, one, you do have access to them now. And should they happen to post a project manager position, you can go directly to them. Send your resume, just like you would to the recruiter. I get it, guys, that they're not the recruiter. I understand. But what they are is human. And humans, by nature, we are curious. So at the very least, they will probably open up your resume, go, oh my gosh, you look like you're a great project manager, and send it to their supervisor, who will then look at it and say, yeah, that looks cool. And then it gets kicked down to the HR department and the recruiter, and they're like, hey, set this up. You know, we want to talk to Jason, right? So let me tell you a little story about this particular thing, because this is actually, it's how I got hired on here at Jewish Family Service. I was working at the Texas Workforce Commission. I was already connected to our lead, Mitch Jacobs, and he would comment on the content that I would post. I would comment and like his content as well. I would always refer my customers that I was working with at TWC to JFS when they had networking events. I would send Mitch an email. It's like, hey, I just outreached 30 people. Hope you have a great turnout. Holidays would come around. I'd DM Mitch, send him a direct message. Hey, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. So he kind of knew who I was. We built this relationship. And I set my LinkedIn. So when it became time for me to start looking for another job, I set my LinkedIn job alerts to let me know and email me anytime a job posted that was for career coach. I think timing always is important. JFS was my #1 target, and it was the weekend, and I was thinking, man, I wonder how I could get hired on there. I had no idea they were hiring or not. I was like, I need to call Mitch and have a conversation, see like what's up, right? And I was like, okay, maybe we could do that. I could fit it into my schedule. It was Monday morning. I got an alert from LinkedIn that a job posted for career coach for Jewish Family Service. And I stopped everything I was doing. Luckily, I did not have a customer at my desk. And I filled out the application. I turned around. I sent Mitch a DM. I said, hey, you guys just posted a career coach position. I did the application. I've attached my resume. Please let me know the next steps. And Mitch was like, great. That's awesome. I'll send it to our director, Allison. I was like, thank you so much. Right? Appreciate you. This was Monday. Wednesday rolls around. I still haven't heard anything. And I sent Mitch another direct message. And this time I say, hey, Mitch, I haven't heard anything. Is there any additional information that I could provide to help move this process along? And Mitch responded with, and by the way, I love Mitch. I'm not bagging on Mitch. He's heard me tell the story. He's told this story, and I understand how the day works here now that I'm working here. And Mitch responds almost immediately with, I don't know, ask Allison. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't know, Allison. I know you. You're my boy. But I didn't say that. I said, okay, thank you. Allison called later that afternoon, set up the interview for Tuesday the next week. I went in to interview with her that following Tuesday. I came back 2 days later on Thursday and interviewed with our CEO. And Allison called and offered me the job Friday. So I know the tactic works. I'm proof it does work. It does take time. And again, you have to get connected and engage with the people that you're trying to connect to. So that's why I say get connected to the people that are in the department you're trying to break into at your target companies. So this bullet point just says video, but really any content, guys. Video content on LinkedIn gets the most push. The way the current algorithm is set up. If you are not comfortable with video, and by the way, you've got a phone. It's got a recording device on it. Set it up, and if you're like, I don't know what to record. Okay, well, how about your journey as a job seeker? Like what it is you're doing, what might be working, or you had an awesome interview, maybe, or if you're not comfortable with video, and I tell clients all the time. One of the things that you want to do is to be visible, right? As a job seeker, you want to be visible. And you want people to see you. You know, guys, that an employer is going to pop over to your LinkedIn. At least the recruiter will pop over to your LinkedIn profile and check it out. If there's content and something for them to look at, well, you're doing much better. I always say, if your resume is the steak, your LinkedIn content is the sizzle. Don't get stuck. Don't overthink things. Right? LinkedIn overall, you guys probably know it's a pretty safe community. There's not a lot of backlash, not a lot of meanness going on like some social media, Twitter. So, in fact, I've always seen, so somebody got real mad one time, and I guess they didn't really like the way the outcome of the interview went, and they just went off on a post. Named the company, named the recruit, and somebody very polite. I'm not connected to the person that got angry, but I'm connected to the other person who commented on it, which meant that I got to see it in my feed. That's how LinkedIn works. And they were very nice and said, you might not want to do this kind of post because it's bad for your brand and it looks bad, So even like when things do pop off, people are usually pretty nice about everything. So posting content shouldn't be a thing to be scared of. I tell clients, like, if you get, don't get stuck. Like, if you can't think of anything, just go Google motivational quotes, post that. There's usually a picture involved, pictures on LinkedIn. So number one, engagement, push into people's feeds, video, followed by pictures, followed by something written. I don't have the patience myself to do video things. I just know this about myself. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. I just usually do written posts every day. I have a Word doc now that has, I think it's like 27, 28 pages of things that I've posted. Like the post I did today was one that I wrote months ago. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just realize, like, not everybody's on LinkedIn and all at the same time. And some people maybe didn't see it. I've posted some things before that got very, very little engagement. And then I reposted it like 4 or 5 months later, boom, it takes off. You never know. I don't know. Nobody really knows like the magic bullet that's going to get engagement in content. But I do think it is good to be visible and to have content in your LinkedIn feed. And then engage. I've been saying this since we started talking about this. You're going to hear this again. It's important to engage in people's content. I will, the first part of my day, I get in at 9, and from 9 to 10, I don't do anything but LinkedIn. I will do my post for the day, and then I just go through whoever's content is in the feed and like it, comment on it, tag them in it, move on to the next thing. Again, it's that engagement, it's being visible, it's letting people know who you are. And if people know who you are, they're more than likely to, figure out like be able to help you if they're in a position to do so. So that's LinkedIn. All right. What about Facebook? You ever thought about job hunting on Facebook? Well, I should probably ask, is anybody on Facebook? Anybody out there on Facebook? Can I get, yes? Oh, we got a couple hands going up.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. So Facebook, right, is mostly for friends and family. So, we talk about LinkedIn being a safe space. Facebook's your friends and family. That's definitely a safe spot to post. Why not create a post in Facebook, letting your friends and family know that you're looking for work? A couple years ago, this happened to a friend of mine that I graduated high school with. And Wendy posted on Facebook, and the post was essentially like, the firm that that I've worked for 20 years is now closing. The guy's closing shop. I don't know what to do. I don't know anything about job search. I haven't had to look for a job in 20 years. Can anybody help me? And I saw it, and I was working at the Texas Workforce Commission, and I replied, and I said, hey, file for your benefits right now. File for your benefits and send me your resume. Let me see if I can help you out with some leads. Another one of our classmates saw it, tagged somebody else that we graduated with who happened to be a director of a staffing agency. He got involved. Somebody else said, hey, I have a lead. I know somebody. Wendy had a job in about a month and a half. not saying post on Facebook, you're going to get a job in a month. I'm not saying that, but I am saying it's your friends, it's your family, get them involved. They need to know that you're looking for work, what type of work, and they should be able, if possible, to try and help you out. And, you know, it is something that you can do to want to increase visibility, but also too, like, everybody that you know, guys, should know that you are looking for a new opportunity, because you never know who somebody's going to know, and you never know where that next opportunity is going to come from. So think about creating a post like that. The other thing too is you can use your about section like that. Like, you know, in your about section where it lists, like, you know, like where you work, right? There's one, you add a section. You could add a section. It's like, currently looking. You could put that into just straight into your about section on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I've had a lot of coffee, so okay. The other thing that you can do is, and then I suggest, is that you join some groups that are on Facebook. It's really strange the way things work, and it's all social media trends. Used to be LinkedIn was the place to go for groups. Groups on LinkedIn are pretty much dead. I'm in a couple of groups that my recruiter friends put me into, and ain't nothing happening. But I'm also in some groups on Facebook. I'm getting alerts and notifications that this person posted, this person posted. Groups are alive and thriving on Facebook. There will be groups specific to your industry, whatever industry you are in. And I would get into there, check them out, be an active participant within the group, right? They need to know who you are and what you're doing and what you're about. I recommended this to a client last year. He was in PR. He joined a couple of PR groups on Facebook. He ended up getting a lead and an interview out of one. You just never know, like, again, where those leads are going to come from. So I would suggest getting to a couple of different groups that are on Facebook as well. Instagram. Has anybody ever thought about searching for jobs on Instagram? I have. Guys, Instagram works by hashtags. In fact, before this meeting, I pulled up my Instagram and I typed in hashtag marketing, and there were 66.2 million posts that had that hashtag. So then I backed it up and I typed in hashtag marketing jobs, and there were 58.8 thousand posts that had marketing jobs. Guys, companies are posting, all your companies, all your target companies, unless it's a small one, is going to have an Instagram page, right? You can follow, you can engage with it, right? And again, there's 58.8 thousand that have the hashtag marketing jobs. It could be whatever industry you're in, right? Just type that in. Companies are posting on their Instagram that they are hiring. One thing that I remind everybody, again, you don't have to be local. A lot of work's getting done remote these days. So, you know, it maybe the job itself is in, we'll say Tulsa, and I'm here in Dallas, right? Like, still can be done remote. So even if it's something that is not in your area and it's something that you want to pursue, you can definitely go and apply to the job. It usually will tell you how to do it in the post. They have it linked up in there. And you can like it, and I say follow your target companies and engage with them. If the company has a good social media department, they will respond and engage back with you. My friend runs, I've got a friend who runs social media, the social media department for Peloton. And he's like, yeah, man, we respond to everybody. He spends a lot of his day just replying to people that respond to posts, right? So if the company's on it and they have a good social media presence, they will continue to reply. I get it. The social media person is not the recruiter, but if you engage enough and you kind of start to build a little bit of that rapport, you know, they may be interested in be able to make that introduction. You never know. So, but again, it's just that visibility. And then I remind everybody, and this is not my suggest I didn't come up with this. This was a Gary Vaynerchuk thing. He was always like, slide into the DMs. You can send a direct message to him. He has said, Gary V has said himself, that people send him, send him direct messages all the time. Every now and then he'll be in a good mood and he'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll take a meeting and give you 15 minutes. Like you never know. But it's always good. It never hurts to be active and be visible, right? Meetups. Is anybody going to meetups today? Anybody in meetups right now? Does anybody go to meetups? No? Some guy on the head shaking no. Okay. I love meetups, right? If you don't know about meetups, you can go to meetup.com and set up your account. It will ask you things that you are interested in. They have meetups for everything from the people that love dogs to people that love detective TV shows, the people that love to walk around outside whilst drinking wine. I am not a part of that meetup, but a friend of mine is. I know it's a real thing. Okay. Like they have meetups for everything. I always suggest that you get into meetups that are fun or things that you are interested in. I love, making model airplanes. Great. Go to that meetup. There are meetups that are industry specific or for job seekers that are job seekers. I tell everybody this, look, you guys are in this network. You guys are probably in another couple of other networks or other people that are looking for work. You got that covered. Don't jump into meetups like that because sometimes the energy level is low because you got other people that are there. I've been here for 4 months and I'm still here. You want to get into something that's going to be fun. And here's the other thing. If you show up, you sign up for people, for the meetup for people that love to watch detective shows, right? By the way, they got meetups that are in person now, and they got meetups that are still virtual. All right, like figure out your comfortability on in-person things, or if you still want to do virtual, cool. But they got both. I always think the in-person is better, just because you get to read the body language a little bit better, but if you're not comfortable, they got some virtual meetups out there. Get into things that you like. Here's what happens. And this happens pretty much in every group situation, is you're going to like and kind of click with somebody a little bit more than somebody else. All right. And, maybe you find out that they also, not only do they like detective TV shows like you do, like everybody's in the meetup, but they also are a big fan of Starbucks, right? Take it off to a different venue. Hey, do you want to go meet at Starbucks and, kind of continue the conversation? Like some people are going to say no, but some people are going to say yes. And you take that off into a different venue. Now you connected to somebody a little bit more. You never know who someone's going to know, but I do know that people hire and they do business with people they like. The reason I love meetups so much is like you show up, they already like you. They already like you because you like board games and they do too, right? So they're already going to like you for the thing. Then you can kind of start, because sooner or later, depending on how long the meetup's going to go, like sooner or later, we're going to run out of dog stuff to talk about. It's like, oh, is that your dog? Oh my gosh, that dog is so cute. Does he do any tricks? Is he fast? He looks fast, right? Like sooner or later, you're going to stop. And then this happens, right? This is just regular conversation. This is how we operate as humans, because the next part goes like, oh, hey, Jason, what do you do? I was like, oh, in fact, this happened to me the other day. It was funny. I walk around my neighborhood. I just taking a walk. I was walking to the park, and there's like about 4 people, and they're all standing around, and they're all looking up. And I'm a friendly dude anyway, so I was like walking up, like, hey guys, what's going on? What are y'all doing over here? And so apparently somebody had one of those it was a remote control plane that they were flying, and it was doing like loops and tricks and stuff. And that's what they were doing. They were watching this dude fly this plane. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. Within 2 minutes of me standing there, just kind of chit-chatting with him, somebody goes, hey, so what is it that you do? I'm like, I keep telling people this, and now here it is actually happening to me in real time at the park, right? Like, who knew, right? So sooner or later, as you're in your group, somebody's going to ask, what is you do? Oh, you know what? I am I'm a software engineer, and I'm currently looking for my next opportunity. Oh, cool. Like, again, you get into it, right? What about Nextdoor? Is anybody familiar with Nextdoor? You guys know the Nextdoor app? I see a couple people saying yes. So if you don't know about Nextdoor, Nextdoor is an app that you can get on your phone that basically tells you what's going on in your neighborhood, right? I live in a suburb of Dallas called Plano, and my Nextdoor is all filled with. Did you see the coyote? Oh my gosh, the coyote was at Arrowhead Park. There's a coyote at Arrowhead Park. I just took a picture. Like, that's my whole Nextdoor pretty much, right? And this isn't actually my idea. It's actually my neighbor's idea. I was talking to my neighbor. He's a handyman. And I was asking him, like, hey, how do you get a lot of business, dude? And he's like, through Nextdoor. And I'm like, what are you talking about through Nextdoor? And so what Trevor, that's my neighbor, what he would do is he would post on Nextdoor, like, hey, you need me to fix this? Are your gutters busted? I can fix it. Like, he would do a post of things that he could do on Nextdoor, and he would prospect business. And we were talking, and all of a sudden I had that ding light bulb moment go off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm telling clients about this, right? Because if he can prospect business on the site, you can post on the site, hey, I am a fashion designer and I'm looking for work. Guys, who better to look for leads for you than your neighbors, right? Like, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I had never thought of that, right? Now, one thing to know is this. That's not what Nextdoor is set up for. That's not what the site is intended for. So you will get shut down. They will put you in Nextdoor jail. They will suspend your account and you will go to Nextdoor jail. But I think Trevor said it was like 12 days or something, and then you get reinstated and you just do the same thing. He goes, yeah, they shut me down. 12 days later, I'm back and I post again and get more business. And so you will go to Nextdoor jail. They will shut you down. But just know going into it that that's going to happen. But I think it's still a good tactic. And if he can prospect business that way, you guys can create posts like that and prospect leads. So, and Nextdoor is the last bit. And that, guys, is the presentation on how to get noticed in other social media outside of LinkedIn. I know I was trying to slow that down. I know I talk fast. So if y'all have any questions, I'd love to answer them for you. Or do we have any questions in the chat? I totally missed.
Let me look in the chat. I didn't see any, but now's a good time. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. If you don't know how to go into reactions and raise your hand, or actually raise your hand and we'll take a look at them. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, Jude said, don't forget your book club or your golf buddy. Absolutely. Guys, anywhere that you can find people or talk to people. Sean said she didn't think about IG for jobs. Nope, a lot of people don't.
I think Lisa has a question, Jason.
Yes.
Hi, I have a question about Instagram. So Facebook is a really wonderful place to post for jobs because I've helped people that way. But I haven't looked at Instagram. As you were talking, I was looking at Instagram and I have a question about, is there a way to search it? So I did hashtag and then position followed by the word jobs, but is there a way to search it by location?
Yes, just put in the city, hashtag.
It didn't give anything. It didn't give me anything in the city when I did it that way.
Let me see.
I even tried, like, I put in
I think
hashtag
yeah.
position, jobs, and then city. I even put in remote, and it didn't come up with anything.
I think we might need to do the city first. Hang on.
Ah,
Hang on. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it live. That's a good question. And also too, part of that's going to go depending on what kind of hashtags they're going to use. Because if they don't put it in there, it's not going to come up. Oh, that's crazy. Jobs. Oh. I was getting no response. I'm like, why am I not getting the right responses? It's because I misspelled Dallas. My big thumbs didn't spell that right.
Yeah, Vic has also a good suggestion. College alumni groups are awesome. We use college alumni groups through LinkedIn as well. There are a lot of alumni groups on LinkedIn. So if you're not already connected to your alumni group, it's definitely a place you want to go. People are very happy to help people who went to the same colleges as they did. Thank you, Vic. Good recommendation.
Yeah, it's not actually populating, but I will. I'll have to look at that. So if the company is not going to put a specific thing in there, then it won't come up. By the way, and I didn't talk about it. Twitter works the same way. You could search things off of Twitter with hashtags and actually jump into conversations. So.
Jason, Retha has a question.
Retha.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask about the Twitter, what you thought about some of the other social media, such as Twitter and even TikTok or Snapchat.
Yeah. So, so Twitter is, and you can get into conversations on Twitter. I like Twitter. Twitter is oftentimes people are meaner on Twitter than they are on some of the other social media platforms. But I think too, like, you get what you search for. Like, there's going to be negative stuff, of course. You also have positive stuff. Companies do check their Twitter and will interact with you. In fact, I did a not so nice tweet once. I was at Taco Bueno and I was waiting for my food, and I looked down and there's like really gross water on the floor. And so I didn't really think it through, and I wasn't very nice. I mean, I wasn't mean, but I was like, standing at Taco Bueno in a puddle of water and it's kind of gross. And I tagged them in it, and it wasn't like, they weren't like a verified account. Which I was like, that's probably not even them. And they responded immediately and were like, please tell us the location where you're at. We are sorry, and we will correct this from our franchisee. And I was like, ooh, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Right. So if you do that and you at them, they will respond. In fact, this just happened to, like, our power was out yesterday. Our power went out, transform blew in our neighborhood, and our power was out from like, it didn't come back on until, it was out from like 4 until like 2 this morning. And right before I went to bed, which was, around, midnight. And by the way, guys, Texas heat is not as hot. I mean, it was like 80 degrees, but inside my house, it was like like sauna. And so I did, hey, I've tweeted, I'm sure you guys are doing everything you can. However, I haven't had power since 4 this morning. I'm very frustrated. And then I at Encore, which was our provider, and they responded that evening. I went to bed, I got it this morning. It's like, please tell me where you are. I will provide you an update. So companies do check Twitter. It is interactive. You also asked about TikTok. TikTok, and I need to update my deck actually with TikTok. I think TikTok is amazing. TikTok has reach. You know, you can do, you know, just like you would do a video for LinkedIn, you could do a quick TikTok. In fact, you could post TikToks to LinkedIn. I've seen that happen before, as well as to other social media. I think it's amazing. I think I read last year that it, as far as users go, it passed Facebook. So there's a lot of movement on it. And I think I think that if you can be visible, the more visibility you get and however you do it, the better off you're going to be. So you know, if you are on TikTok, I would continue to post. You know, you never know what somebody's going to hit on and come forward with it for leads or know somebody. So yeah, I'm all for TikTok as well.
I think we have time for one more question, and then I want to give time for anyone who wants to do success stories. Is there one person who would like to ask one more question of Jason before we let him go? Oh, good. All right, Jason, this was amazing. I said I love to learn something new every single day. I learned at least 12 new things today. So I appreciate you, and I will now I can relax the rest of the day because I learned so many good things today.
Thank you so much, Mindy. I appreciate that.
I thank you.
I'm happy that you learned something, and I hope everybody else did too.
Absolutely. Does anyone want to share a success? Just raise your hand and we will call on you. Be happy to call on you and celebrate you for whatever you are thrilled about this week. Something that you can appreciate this week. No one. Wow. Okay, well, I'm seeing from Brad and Arabella, they're all thanking you. Jason, it was really great, and I'm hoping that we can get this group together again. We meet once a month, generally the first Wednesday of the month. Watch for my notifications on LinkedIn. That's where we post it. That's where you can register. Elsie, can you put in the chat the link to our July meeting? That would be awesome, so people can get there again. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you all. And hopefully we're going to be trying something. Maybe let's go around the room. Anything that you think you're going to be trying differently from what you learned from Jason today, or from any of your colleagues. Beth, unmute yourself.
Sorry.
What are you trying differently?
I have a question, actually. So a lot of people are starting to get jobs, I see, and everybody goes out and congratulates them. And I get like 75 notifications then during the day. Is there a way to turn that off on LinkedIn? Sorry, LinkedIn.
You get 75 notifications from one person's posting?
Yeah, like everybody who chimes in to say congratulations and all this stuff, it just keeps on notifying me.
So you probably know a lot of the same people. You're probably connected to a lot of those people. That's probably why.
I don't know that it's, I don't know. Well, who knows? I've got 5,000 connections, so it's kind of hard.
Beth, check on your the three dots next to the posts. You may be able to turn off the connections there. You may be able to turn off the binging.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yep, that works. Thank you. That's been driving me. It's been happening multiple times.
Okay. So there's something you can celebrate. You don't need to see them all the time.
Yes, there's my celebration. Thank you.
Yeah, you can, like Mindy said, just click that, and you can do two things. You can either like completely leave that conversation, or you can mute it.
Okay, great, perfect. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I'll give you a success, Amy or Mindy, since nobody's coming forward. I had a recruiter. I don't know why they reached out to me about a job, and I had a screening interview this morning. So
great. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Let's give her a reaction. Hold on, let me get my reaction. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. Thumbs up. Good job, Beth. And hopefully we get some traction on that. And we do know why they came. Your LinkedIn profile looks great, right? And
Yeah, no, it's just a little bit different. It's a corporate communications job, and I'm usually called for marketing communications. So I think sometimes people get confused. Communications is communications in people's minds.
yeah. All right. I don't know what
I have
that's.
something to share,
And who is that?
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
I have an interview tomorrow, and I have a recruiter who's sharing a job description that is not posted yet.
Wow. That's amazing. We'll give you a celebration emoji. Wow. Good luck, Lisa.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with that. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else? April, Norma? Oh, I think they're applauding you, Lisa. Good job. Lisa and Beth, thank you so much. All right,
Mindy, I just want to share that the way I connected to the interview I'm getting tomorrow is a trick that Mindy actually taught me on LinkedIn, which is I was doing it a different way, but Mindy showed me how to go to the company's page, look for the people, and then find my second connection. I had to go through like 10 connections where before I got to one person who said, oh yeah, I know someone, I went to school with him since 4th grade. And then I followed up with her a couple times saying, did you send, like, not in that way, but like just checking to see what your friend said, you know? And so anyway, thanks.
amazing. It takes work, but it works for sure. All right, Jason, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's been on the call. We hope you learn a lot, share your knowledge, and come back next month and tell us that you have a new job. That would be amazing. You can be part of the Accelerator alumni if you choose to be. That would be great. All right, thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Enjoy your
you.
day, everyone. Thank
Have the
you.
best day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. You did it.
Amazing. Good job.
I got some pics for you. I'll email them to you. All
Cool.
right.
End the meeting. Thank you, honey.
Love ya.